Hello, everyone. Thank you for taking the time today to join us for the webinar, our QuickBooks and Manual Processes Holding Back Your Growth. My name is Anand Misra, and I'm in product marketing with NetSuite. As many of you may be aware, NetSuite was acquired by Oracle last year, and we are now a global business unit of Oracle. So here's the agenda for today. After a quick round of introductions, I will provide an overview about NetSuite and what we believe is the state of the business today and NetSuite's value proposition to you. I will then share our take on QuickBooks and manual processes and how they could be hampering your business growth. I will also discuss how we believe we can help you replace these entry-level solutions with a more robust, reliable, and cost-effective solution which will truly help you accelerate the growth of your business. After that, our guest speaker, Jay Oliphant, Principal Financial Officer of Ecoark, will provide details into specific decisions that his company made about migrating to NetSuite and how it has impacted his company. Jay will also share some best practices with you. This will be followed by a product demo by Matt Monahan, a Senior Solution Consultant with NetSuite, after which we will open it up for Q&A. And please submit your questions as we go along. And if we are unable to get to your question, I assure you that someone from NetSuite will get back to you. So let's get started. Here are the presenters. Jay Oliphant is the Corporate Controller and the Principal Financial Officer with Ecoark. Jay led a team of professionals who implemented NetSuite at his company. Jay has been a CPA for over 30 years. Prior to joining Ecoark, Jay spent 9 years in various controllership roles at Walmart. Jay's professional experience also includes roles with Oracle, PwC, Deloitte, and other controllership and consulting positions. Jay earned a master's in accounting and master's of business public management and a bachelor's in economics from Rice University. Welcome, Jay. Matt Monahan is a senior solution consultant at NetSuite. Matt has over 8 years of experience in accounting and finance. Prior to joining NetSuite, Matt was a controller at Janrain, a customer identity management solution provider. Prior to that, Matt was a senior accountant and then a controller at RYU, Respect Your Universe, a global athletic apparel brand. Matt was also a senior audit associate at KPMG. Matt is a past customer of NetSuite and has experienced the benefits and the power of the platform from the other side as well. Welcome, Matt. And my name is Anand Misra, and I'm in product marketing at NetSuite. I've been with NetSuite for 4 years now, and my responsibilities include messaging and positioning through white papers, presentations, website content, and sales collateral. I have 14 years of experience, and prior to joining NetSuite, I held product marketing and product management positions at ADP, Thomson Reuters, Wolters Kluwer Financial Services, and a couple of startups. Assuming that some of you don't know who we are, NetSuite is the #1 cloud ERP company. As I mentioned earlier, we were acquired by Oracle in November. The metrics on your screen validate our position as the #1 provider of cloud ERP. From the beginning, we have been in the cloud and are the pioneers in cloud business management systems. We support businesses of all sizes, ranging from startups and emerging companies to public companies. We are also the fastest growing financial management platform in the world. We have over 30,000 organizations all running on the same version of the product. And a large percentage of IPOs over the past few years in North America are NetSuite customers. We have a proven, reliable, and scalable solution, and our ability to execute at these levels has been proven over many, many years now. Here's a sample list of our customers, ranging from global companies to disruptors to companies of all sizes across all industries. So here's what we've learned from our experience. Nobody or very few businesses want to replace their existing systems, but everyone is trying to grow. Everyone wants to or needs to change, but they all need to move fast or risk being wiped out by their competition. This is happening in every single industry. Companies need to think and operate like startups, but their opportunities are global. They have to be responsive and nimble or run the risk of being quickly disrupted. Data is a huge weapon and is becoming more important every day with emerging trends like the Internet of Things and big data. And in today's world, every company is and needs to be thinking like a cloud company. And as you all know, there's a massive movement in our industry to move to the cloud. Being the leader and the driving force in this trend, NetSuite can help you transform your business and stay ahead of the curve. You will hear shortly from Jay how Ecoark is leveraging NetSuite to grow and improve its business. Here is an interesting study. According to Gartner, financial functions are gaining momentum in moving to the cloud, and there are a few reasons for this. Cloud as a proven technology has become the preferred choice across industries and functions, and we are now seeing large global enterprises select cloud for finance. These organizations have done their due diligence and know that cloud-based systems can handle complex financial transactions and reporting requirements with the controls in place to ensure data integrity and compliance. Cloud is good for growth. To keep up pace with business today, companies need the ability to scale operations and enter new markets quickly and easily. Traditional financial management and point systems such as QuickBooks add a lot of time, cost, and complexity to market expansions and product launches, if at all they can handle it. Cloud also supports the strategic finance team. As you all know, finance teams are increasingly being asked to provide more data and insights to business leaders across the organization. Cloud-based finance systems such as NetSuite with built-in analytics can analyze historical and real-time operational data to not only show insights about what has happened and is happening across the business, but also deliver deeper insights. And easy access to this data enables finance to focus more on strategy in their conversations with business leaders. So in the next few slides, let's take a look at the typical applications journey and the challenges it poses. Having provided a bit of context in terms of the trends, the key question still remains, why can't we still do all this? Generally, investing in business software and automation was supposed to help and not be the obstacle. And from your perspective, it is difficult, if not impossible, to foresee the demands a growing business can place on your business software. And now suddenly, you are dealing with multiple point systems that don't talk to each other. You have little or no visibility into your growing business with different versions of data. You cannot track mission-critical processes such as lead to cash, procure to pay, and IT costs are creeping up just to integrate and maintain multiple point systems. So here's the typical applications journey. Normally, companies automate each business process on a per-need basis. They may start with QuickBooks for accounting, Act or Goldmine or Salesforce for CRM, and export data and consolidate in Excel for reporting. And the idea is, after investing in technology, we should be able to run the business more efficiently and gain the needed insights to make decisions. The result is just the opposite. The main reason for not able to get insight is due to automation. Organizations end up automating their business processes with best intentions, but few live up to expectations. What they provide instead is disruption. And speaking of disruptions, they end up with this. As the graphic shows, it becomes an applications hairball over time, because most businesses are running multiple point systems such as financials, sales, inventory, support, e-commerce. They are burdened with manual tasks and productivity bottlenecks. The bottom line is that you cannot address today's challenges and constant state of change if your business systems look like this, either now or in the future. It is difficult to introduce new modules and systems to remain competitive, as the existing systems are inadequate and inflexible and cannot be easily integrated to or have different technologies and are stuck on old versions due to customization. Your IT team is in a constant state of integration just to try and give you at least a view into what happened last month. And finance is forced to resort to manual processes and calculations just to be able to close books each month. And no one has the bandwidth to spend on strategic initiatives of the burden of simply maintaining of what you have in place. And through no fault of your own, you ended up with systems that make it near impossible to embrace the changing business environment of today. So based on talking to our customers, here are some of the main reasons we see companies leave QuickBooks for NetSuite. It's hard to find out what's really happening across your business in real time. Now, QuickBooks was designed for a time when you could afford to wait until the end of the month to get the data you needed. That's not the case today. Consolidated views and up-to-the-minute reporting can make the difference between thriving and barely surviving. You are spending too much time re-entering and reconciling data across systems. With legacy applications and point systems, it used to make sense to have separate systems for separate departments. But when everyone is networked and online, it's frustrating that suppliers, customers, and business managers have to wait for answers while information is painstakingly transferred between systems manually. You're losing sales because you cannot get information where it's needed fast enough. In today's online environment, customers expect to see real-time stock levels online and confirm the delivery schedule at the time they place the order, and then be able to call the customer service 10 minutes later and ask the agent to bring up the order and add an extra line item. With systems like QuickBooks, such real-time responsiveness is out of the question. You're doing more of your accounting outside of QuickBooks than in it. QuickBooks was designed to automate a limited set of core accounting functions, which means that it limits how you run your operations when you want to do more or make changes. And you're spending too much time worrying about technology instead of focusing on business results. With each new layer of business software you add, the underlying systems become more inflexible, and these earlier investments in underlying hardware and software are costly to maintain and fail to keep pace with technology innovation. So if you're asking questions such as, are my auditors concerned about financial controls and security? Do I have the need to segregate the financial duties to reduce the risk of fraud? Can I manage complex requirements like subscription-based billing, revenue deferral, and RevRec? Everyone has global aspirations. Can QuickBooks handle multi-currency, multi-tax, and multi-entity requirements as you add more locations and do business in multiple currencies? Am I outgrowing the user limitation, the file size with QuickBooks, and need other systems to manage the business? And can my teams work remotely? Can they access financials and perform the common tasks like purchasing approvals from anywhere? If you're faced with these challenges, stay tuned. So what's driving this growth and why are businesses choosing to build with NetSuite? It basically comes down to these 5 tenets that you see on your screen, which I will cover in the next few slides. NetSuite is designed for a modern business. It is built ground up as an easy-to-use cloud solution and transforms both the accessibility of your systems as well as the capabilities it delivers to your organization. All of our customers are on the same version of the product with the access to latest and greatest. We have 2 major releases per year with virtually no downtime. NetSuite provides advanced end-to-end functionality across several areas, ERP, CRM, e-commerce, PSA, and a lot more. And having over 30,000 organizations on the same version of the product means that we are constantly innovating and improving the product for our customers. With our one-world solution, you get to drive global expansion because we've extended the idea of a single data model globally around which everyone can transact from anywhere in the world. You can transact in any currency, in a local language, with any taxation, so you get local control together with the consolidated global view of your business in real time. Our customers benefit from rich ERP features ranging from areas such as financial management, supply chain, order management, inventory and warehouse management, services resource planning, procurement, CRM, and a lot more. With all this at their disposal, our customers don't need point solutions for different business areas. Additionally, while delivering rich ERP functionality, we are also investing in next-gen capabilities, unified billing, RevRec, advanced order management, omnichannel commerce are examples of the capabilities that we have added recently. The bottom line is, NetSuite provides many features within the application that you would expect only to get from a best-of-breed solution, and we are constantly trying to innovate and bring you the best. Here's a look at our scalability, and this is not a lab or a test project. This is the reality. This is on a real platform and not just supporting simple accounting entries, but large number crunching processes like planning, billing, e-commerce transactions, etc., across the entire spectrum of the ERP processes. No one else comes close to us with these numbers. Moving on to the platform. The NetSuite platform offers unparalleled levels of personalization, customization, and development. The backbone of the NetSuite platform is our infrastructure. And on top of the infrastructure is the NetSuite platform, which provides all the tools required to extend and integrate NetSuite. In fact, we use this very platform to develop all the applications that our customers use. The great thing about NetSuite platform is that all of the customizations are maintained and carry forward to the future releases. It's how we avoid the hairball nightmares our competitors create and how we always keep every customer on the same version. This is our cloud ecosystem where developers can build full-fledged applications that extend NetSuite to address their specific business needs. These are called Suite apps. And with Suite apps, NetSuite customers gain an online marketplace where hundreds of innovative third-party solutions and data management tools help integrate and extend NetSuite with industry-specific solutions. From a technology perspective, the three key aspects that are important to any business using a cloud-based system are uptime, security, and scalability. NetSuite offers certifications and SLAs to guarantee these key components. We have world-class data centers with redundancy and data recovery plans. We provide industry-leading security and uptime guarantee and have an impeccable track record. In fact, we list our uptime on our website. What does this mean for our customers? NetSuite delivers a reliable service that allows you to focus on business strategy rather than infrastructure. The third pillar of our success is our unified data model, which allows customers to report and analyze their entire business end-to-end. It's real-time with no need to build complex data warehouses with multiple moving parts that many other products require. NetSuite comes with hundreds of BI components out of the box with predefined roles and dashboards that are centered around a user's day-to-day tasks. Users can expand these and fine-tune them to their own unique requirements. Our intuitive user experience not only drives the consumption of business intelligence, but also helps users in day-to-day decision-making. The NetSuite user experience moves seamlessly from the browser to the mobile device so that users can get access to the most in-depth functionality from anywhere using any device. And our mobile and social approach to enterprise software goes beyond the post-PC world. You can check order status, inventory, approve POs, file your expense and reports, etc. on your favorite mobile device. You can even collaborate across globally distributed teams with built-in social tools. Our fourth pillar of success is commerce. And our vision for commerce is providing the ability to interact with the company's entire ecosystem, customers, partners, and vendors. We believe that digital commerce is for everyone in every industry, and it enables you to manage relationships with business partners, customers, and prospects, whether they are buying, selling, supporting a product or a service. Lastly, build for your industry, which means that NetSuite is optimized for key industries. You see software in the angle brackets on the slide. You can insert other key industries such as manufacturing, wholesale distribution, services, retail, nonprofit, advertising, media, and publishing, and many other micro verticals, which are all available with the appropriate functionality, reporting requirements, KPIs, integrations, etc. What this means for you? Quicker implementation and rapid return on investment. Last but certainly not the least, I want to talk about Suite Success. So Suite Success is our customer engagement methodology that is designed with leading practices and years of experience in cloud ERP implementation. We bring deep industry domain knowledge and expertise to help our customers meet their business needs and industry requirements. Suite Success basically involves an agile and phased approach that starts from sales to implementation and post-implementation support, which enables our customers to meet the requirements of what they need from a successful ERP implementation in a record time. It also includes continuous support to ensure that our customers always get most out of NetSuite capabilities as well. Suite Success has delivered unprecedented customer experience and tangible business outcomes for our customers. Here is a sample list of companies that have switched from QuickBooks to NetSuite. And this is just an example, and there are thousands of such companies that have made the move and are realizing the benefits of the world's fastest growing and the most comprehensive business management system. With that, I would like to hand it over to Jay to present his case study. Jay, please take it away.
Thank you, Anand. Thank you, Anand. And a lot of the things that you just mentioned are the very things that we faced at Ecoark. A lot of the challenges that you described are things that we've faced. And to tell you a little bit about our company and to help you understand the challenges that we had, we actually have several different types of industries in our company. We're a holding company, so we have Zest Labs, that's a technology company based out in San Jose, California. So they have various different revenue recognition challenges with different types of revenue. We've got Eco3D in Phoenix, which is principally a professional services company. They provide scanning and 3D mapping technology for customers. So they have employees who travel around doing scanning and then bring that data back into the office and create high definition, highly accurate 3D models for customers. Then we have Pioneer Products that takes recycled plastics that would otherwise go into a landfill, and we create products and sell them back through national retailers. And finally, we have Magnolia Solar, which is in Albany, New York, and Massachusetts. And they do various solar technology research. So we've got a broad range of industries even within our company. About 100 employees, revenue this past year of approximately $15 million, which was double the year before. I mentioned those various different industries. We also tried to do something. Anand just mentioned Suite Success, and I had done similar things previously in my career working at Oracle and other companies, and that was trying to do a rapid implementation of base functionality. So to tell you a little bit more about what our key business drivers were for our implementation, I started with Ecoark back in January of 2016, and the CEO of the company said that he wanted to take the company public, and what kind of systems would we need? As Anand mentioned, we were a typical QuickBooks customer. We had 4 companies on QuickBooks and 1 company on Microsoft Dynamics. And I knew we weren't going to be able to sustain that if we were going to be publicly traded and filing with the SEC. So we quickly took a look at what was out in the marketplace. We looked at exclusively cloud-based systems because I didn't want to have a lot of IT infrastructure to deal with. We wanted to be nimble and able to report quickly. But we had our sights set very high, so we thought we might be subject to Sarbanes-Oxley compliance later in the year. Again, we had 6 companies, so we had to have consolidation capabilities and wanted to have visibility into that at all times from various different places. And as I mentioned, our subsidiaries were across the country, so having good access if we were traveling to different subsidiaries was really critical, and the ability to handle the needs of diverse industries. Okay. What were some of the challenges we were facing with QuickBooks? Well, as you get into the public reporting arena, you can't have subsidiaries having the freedom to make journal entries and make changes if you've already closed out your period. You also have to make sure that there's an audit trail. We've been subject to almost constant audits over the past year from external auditors and internal, making sure that all our records were accurate and that our controls were in place. The other factor is you don't have the robust support when you're on QuickBooks that's available with NetSuite. So those are some of the business drivers and the challenges that we were facing. Okay. Why did we go with the cloud? Again, didn't want to have in-house IT. I've worked with systems from Oracle to JD Edwards to SAP, and I knew as a small company, we couldn't, we just didn't have the funds to support a large in-house IT function. So with NetSuite, you don't have that challenge at all. Also, traveling around, the ability to access from anywhere. And as I mentioned, all of our subsidiaries are different, so you had different functionality and a broad range of things from inventory to project accounting for professional services. It had to handle all of that. As Anand mentioned, with NetSuite, you've got 2 upgrades per year. And I used to do upgrades for some of the other ERP solutions, and I knew we didn't want to have to be going through several weeks of a process. With NetSuite, it happens very quickly, twice a year. You get new functionality deployed at that time. Cost was a factor. We looked at other systems that were on the Salesforce platform, and the NetSuite cost was very competitive with those systems. And the biggest thing that I like of all with NetSuite is the reporting capability. It's very easy to drill down. You can run an income statement or a balance sheet and drill down into individual entries, individual bills, and things like that. I suspect everyone has heard about the single source of truth. What we were trying to do was achieve that with simplicity, but a comprehensive solution for various industries. Okay. Our experience in making the move, and this is something that I'll mention in a bit on best practices. When you get started, make sure that you go with a very experienced implementation partner. We took a look at various possibilities, and NetSuite Professional Services is one opportunity for you. And there are also a series of NetSuite partners. We selected FMT Consultants out of San Diego. They did an absolutely fantastic job for us. They started us with a very detailed project plan, and everything went very smoothly from there. We executed to the plan, did it very quickly. When we got started with the implementation, we did a merger, and that's what got us public. And then 2 months later, we did an acquisition. And so all told, in 5 months, we implemented NetSuite at 7 different companies very successfully. One of the keys to success, Anand mentioned suite success. And, to me, I had not heard the term suite success when we started this journey last February, but I had done similar things with Oracle, and that was doing a rapid implementation of base functionality. We tried to avoid customizations, and we had a process established on our project team to make sure that if anybody requested a customization, it had to go through the leadership of our project team before it would be approved. Because NetSuite has such rich features and broad functionality, we saw very little need for customizations. At 2 of our subsidiaries, we identified and implemented 2 or 3 customizations that helped us with efficiency and visibility. So, we were very pleased that we didn't have to have a lot of complexity, that the vast majority of our needs were handled by the base functionality. Another recommendation that I'll make, we kicked off our implementation in March of last year. In May, the annual conference, Suite World, was held out in San Jose. This year, it's in April. If any of you are thinking about implementing, or you're going to be implementing in the near future, or you're in the process, I strongly encourage you to attend Suite World. This year, it's in April, and it's in Las Vegas. You can meet all kinds of people from NetSuite, implementation partners, see all kinds of things, and learn all kinds of things. So I strongly recommend that you consider that. So how are things running on NetSuite? Anon mentioned the 99.99% uptime. We have never had a problem with downtime whatsoever. Yeah, and again, we've got people in all the time zones in the U.S., so we've never had issues with that being a problem. We tripped an SEC threshold on June 30th, and so that made us subject to Sarbanes-Oxley. So in the third quarter and the fourth quarter, we focused a lot of time on enhancing our controls. And that's a combination of manual processes, but the functionality and the support and the ability to store documents in NetSuite was hugely supportive and successful for us in complying with Sarbanes-Oxley internal controls over financial reporting. Our auditors are happy with it. We talked about accessibility from various places. Our auditors didn't need to be on site all the time. You can save documents as attachments in NetSuite. So we've actually trained our auditors to go in and pull documents themselves. So in addition to having complete documentation to operate your own enterprise, it can also save you money if you're subject to external audits. The revenue recognition, NetSuite put a lot of effort into revenue recognition. And as with any system, not everything is perfect. And my own opinion is that in their interest in complying with the new revenue recognition accounting standards, they might have gone a little bit overboard initially. Some of our operations need those advanced revenue recognition functionalities and features, but some of them are relatively simple, just shipping products. So we had a little bit of a challenge up front in that there was a two-step process. Again, we talked about the upgrades. When the upgrade came out in August, NetSuite had addressed those concerns, and so subsequent to that upgrade, the subsidiaries that we have that didn't need advanced revenue recognition, that were simple, could be simple and have direct posting of revenue. So it can take you from a simple need for revenue to a far more complex one and provide that support. Improvement in other areas, control over sales. Some of our businesses, we have to make sure that customers don't exceed their credit limits or things like that. And that connection with sales going all the way from the front end, receiving of a purchase order from our customer to shipment or providing the professional services is very smooth in NetSuite. Another key call out, our executives have loved the dashboards. And I'll mention that you can have access to real-time data during the month. Several of our executives used to work at Walmart, and they were used to having daily P&Ls. And not all of our businesses have that much activity to where we have that kind of activity on a daily basis, but they were used to that. And NetSuite allows them, through the dashboards and the ease of reporting and drill down, to understand exactly what's going on with the business real time. So to sum up best practices, first and foremost, engage a high-quality implementation partner, whether that's NetSuite Professional Services or an implementation partner like FMT Consultants. Start out with a very detailed project plan. Give some thought to whether you're going to phase things, and I strongly recommend phasing as opposed to going big bang, and the needs of that will be dependent on the nature of your own company as to how you might phase things. Make sure that you have adequate resources. We've been stretched very thin during most of this time period. We did this with about 4 people on our accounting staff, and at times it can be a challenge to properly address the implementation and keep the lights on and keep things going with your normal processes while you're doing that implementation. Finally, strongly recommend you select NetSuite. It's going to make your users happy, your day-to-day users. The executives are going to be happy because they're going to have visibility into what's going on with the dashboards, access, from anywhere. the accountants are going to be happy, the controls are there, the structure, the different cycles that Anand mentioned, whether it's lead to cash or procure to pay, other cycles, you've got all that functionality. And sometimes it can be a challenge to make auditors happy, but I can assure you that NetSuite has made even our auditors happy. Okay, and now we're going to be passing it on to Matt to take you through a little bit of a demo.
All right, good morning. I'm sorry, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great, good morning. My name is Matt Monahan, and I'm a solution consultant here at NetSuite. As Anand mentioned, I'm a former corporate controller of a software company. Prior to my industry experience, I worked for KPMG, solely auditing software and tech companies, and as a result, I have a lot of accounting and finance experience as it relates specifically, to the software industry. I have also used NetSuite as a controller and have directly experienced the efficiencies provided via NetSuite's leading practices. Today, I will be demonstrating NetSuite's Suite Success offering, which was kind of briefly just discussed. This encompasses industry-specific leading practices to enable critical business processes in a streamlined manner. This offering was put together using feedback from hundreds of our customers in order to provide you with an out-of-the-box offering that not only meets your needs today, but will allow you to scale your business for the future. Because our implementation team is so well versed with the Suite Success approach to implementation, the NetSuite implementation team is able to get you live in under 100 days. In fact, our average time to go live is actually 98 days, and we've had customers go live in as little as 47 days. So it gets you live quick. Your time to value is much expedited, and you're using industry-specific leading practices. Okay, so what you're looking at right here is the home dashboard of a controller. I'm going to start here on the top right. You can see NetSuite is a roles-based system. I'm logged in under the role of a controller. That being said, roles provide you with two main use cases. The first being they provide you with an element of internal control, in that every single role comes with a set level of permissions and restrictions, allowing you to access and use certain information throughout the system. Roles also allow you to deliver relevant information to the right people throughout your organization. So as Jay mentioned earlier, his executive team was very happy in that they're able to really access NetSuite from anywhere, leverage the dashboards to get real-time visibility into the system. Your role really determines what you're able to see throughout NetSuite. So, as a controller, everything here on my home dashboard is relevant, to the role of controller. If I were an AR manager, I would want to see maybe a list of past due customers, maybe an AR aging, a little bit different type of information. So your role is really going to determine the type of information you're presented with throughout the system. Okay. I always just like to briefly mention that NetSuite is browser agnostic. So I'm logged in today via Google Chrome. That being said, you can log in, Chrome, Safari, Firefox, Internet Explorer, whether you're a Mac shop or a PC shop, it doesn't matter. If you want to take NetSuite with you on the go, you absolutely can. We have a mobile app supported by both iOS and Android operating systems. So anywhere you have a device, an internet connection, you can access and use NetSuite. Okay. All right, so I wanted to cover some of what you're seeing here on this dashboard, this home dashboard of a controller. I always like to kind of break this up into two main themes. We're going to be talking today not only about financial excellence, but also about operational efficiency. So, NetSuite, according to Gartner, is the #1 cloud-based global ERP. That being said, we have put a ton of effort into the financial side of the house. A lot of times that's what people come to us for, but we didn't become that #1 ERP solely focusing on the financial side of the system. We put a ton of R&D and effort into the operational side of the system, and so that's why we're going to cover kind of both financial excellence and operational efficiency today. All right, I want to start out with this this dashboard portlet here in the center of your screen. This is a nice real-time dashboard portlet that just kind of gives you some visibility into your financial KPIs. So you can see you're able to view things like sales, expenses, revenue, receivables, et cetera, on a trended basis. So we're giving you a nice snapshot view into, what are my, financials looking like this month versus what they were last month. You get some immediate visibility into your variance. For example, if you wanted to know why, your expenses increased by, 14%, you can simply drill into anything on this dashboard. So every figure that you're seeing here is drillable. If I drill down, you'll see NetSuite takes me back to an income statement from which that figure was derived. If I wanted to do some quick variance analysis, I can break this out month over month, just change my reporting period here. And you can see here we have about 15 reporting dimensions out of the box. That being said, NetSuite allows you to create unlimited reporting segments and dimensions. So you're not, as your business expands and grows and scales, you're not limited to the number of, reporting dimensions that you can use to slice and dice your data. So I'm just going to select between my accounting period dimension here, click refresh, and now we're looking at a P&L, broken out by month. Okay, and this is all real time. You can start to do some quick variance analysis. We also have reports that allow you to report on budget versus actual if you have a budget or a forecast that you want to load into the system. Okay. I always like to show how we can really as companies expand and they add on new entities, new subsidiaries, it becomes critical to understand which entities and subsidiaries are contributing more to your overall business as a whole. So I'm just going to select between the subsidiary dimension here. And now you're looking at an income statement broken out by entity. So you can see here we have, it's not only at the parent company level, so we're looking at this in the context of our U.S. parent company consolidated financials, but you can see it broken out not only by region, but also by individual subsidiaries. So you can see how each of these individual subsidiaries rolls up and contributes to your overall consolidated financials as a whole. If you wanted to just look at the EMEA region, for example, you can just come into this context, select the EMEA consolidated region, and now we're looking at a P&L immediately translated into that region's currency of euros. So we have real-time foreign currency translation. We're feeding FX rates into NetSuite every single day so that you can achieve not only real-time visibility into real-time translation, but also real-time consolidation as well. Okay. If you wanted to go down even further and say, hey, I just want to see how the UK subsidiary is looking, we can select the UK sub, and everything's immediately translated into their functional currency of the British pound. Okay. So from any of these reports, if we come back to the consolidated financial statement in U.S. dollar, you can drill down into anything here. So if I wanted to know what was sitting here in my advertising expense, I can just drill into that figure. NetSuite takes you back to the source transaction from which that figure was derived. So real-time drill down capability, like Jay had mentioned, that ability to really understand what's going on in your business in a very quick approach to that. Okay. Coming back to this report, I always just like to mention, Jay mentioned the ability to have executives see dashboards, but there's also things that maybe, maybe people who don't have a NetSuite license need access to. Maybe you have some board members who don't have access to NetSuite, and you want to provide them with a set of financials after the close. So you can simply come in here and schedule reports to go out on a recurring basis. So this is where we could tell NetSuite, hey, we want this income statement to go out on a monthly basis, maybe 1 week after the last day of the month, after the books are closed, and we can actually determine who these reports go to. So we can simply just select or type in the email of the recipients who we want to receive this report. This is really great. A lot of times when I was a controller, I constantly had investors, board members, every single quarter they're in my inbox asking me for certain reports. This is a great way to be proactive about that and just push information to them as opposed to them having to come to you to get it. Okay. All right. I'm going to jump back to my home dashboard here. I wanted to, talk a little bit more about the global aspect of the system. So you can see here we have this subsidiary navigator. We just saw how, at a report, we can toggle between reporting views at the subsidiary level. But this at the dashboard level gives you a nice ability to just toggle between company views. So right now we're looking at, our dashboard is in the context of the parent company. But if I just wanted to look at EMEA, my whole dashboard, you can see, is automatically updated, refreshed, translated into the EMEA's currency of euros, okay? So we're only looking at EMEA data here. If we wanted to go down even further, again, we can select the UK, and now we're looking at everything specifically associated with that UK entity. So especially for your executives who want to see some of this high-level dashboard type information across all subsidiaries, they can simply just toggle between the subsidiary navigator here to get some nice real-time view into how each subsidiary is contributing to the business as a whole. All right. And so we've covered quite a bit around the financial excellence theme of the NetSuite platform. I wanted to spend a little time talking about operational efficiency. So we don't have a ton of time today, but I wanted to really get into what you're seeing here on the left with reminders, dashboard reminders. So this is a nice operational tool allowing you to prompt individuals, remind yourself to do daily tasks instead of keeping sticky notes or some checklist in Excel, on your desktop. You can leverage the NetSuite system to remind you to do things and remind you when things fall into your bucket. Maybe it be, bills to approve. Maybe you're responsible for approving bills prior to them being paid. Anytime one is entered and is queued up for approval, it's going to be shown here in your reminder to approve. A few that are really, really helpful are, this invoices greater than 30 days past due. So not only are we going to remind you when an invoice is past due, but you can drill into this and get some really nice visibility into, who the customers are, what their invoice numbers are, and the amounts associated with them. This is what we call a saved search. This is unique to the NetSuite platform. This is the result of NetSuite's unified data model. So NetSuite is a unified database. There's no concept of subledgers in NetSuite. And what that means for you is you can query literally anything in the system and not get stuck at that sub-ledger level of detail. Okay, so if we're showing here a search or a query of invoices that are greater than 30 days past due, greater than $100,000. If I come into the back end here, really nice operational aspect of these saved searches is the ability to have email reminders automatically fired off, not only internally but externally. So if we wanted to automate our dunning process, when I was a controller prior to NetSuite, our dunning was all done manual. I had an AR manager who was constantly monitoring our past due invoices, manually sending out emails, following up. She spent a ton of time doing that, right? This aspect of the system can really eliminate that process, right? It doesn't become a manual process. Now it becomes an automated process. We can literally select recipients from results, so we can, have the bill to customer, their email here, or the bill to contact of the customer show up and automatically send that email a customized message, a template, right? Your invoice is past due. Please remit payment immediately or contact your account manager with any questions. Some really nice way to prompt your customers to pay without you having to do anything manually. You can schedule notifications to go out immediately when an invoice is past due. They can go out on a weekly basis, or you really can set that interval kind of like you saw just before. But this is really a nice, a really nice way to speed up the collections process, decrease your DSO, get cash in the door, and start investing it back into your business. All right. One last thing I wanted to cover with regard to operational efficiency is this reminder upcoming renewals. So in the event that you have time-based revenue or time-based contracts that need to be renewed, NetSuite provides you again with reminders when those contracts are approaching renewal. And again, you can not only email your staff internally to remind them to go renew, but you can email the customer themselves to ensure that they are aware that they have a contract that they need to raise a purchase order for internally, make sure they have budget for, and renew. So a nice way to preemptively, push information out to your customers, make sure that they're renewing on time, which again, results in collecting cash on time and really having a forecastable business. The last thing I wanted to cover today, before we leave some time for Q&A, is the Customer 360. I'm just going to navigate there via the global search. This internally we call this Google for NetSuite, so you can search for anything, any record within NetSuite. I'm just typing in the letters INC. You can see that NetSuite's providing to me any results associated with those letters. So I have a customer with the word Inc. associated with it. I have some income statements. So you can really search for any record, any report within the system. If I wanted to specifically search only for customers, I can just type in the letters INC here after a customer prefix, and I can only see customers associated with the letters Inc. I just want to navigate to our customer ABC Incorporated here. And what you're seeing here is the Customer 360 record. So again, because NetSuite is a unified data model, a single database, we're able to give you access in one page on one view, everything you would ever need to know about your customer. As a controller, I always had CFO, CEO coming into my office saying, "Hey, Matt, I'm going to be at this customer site next week. I need to know what's going on with them. To have some educated knowledge around the background of this customer." So I could simply come into here and scroll through these tabs to really understand everything, a nice quick snapshot of the customer. Under the communication tab under messages here, you can see some automated emails have gone out. We just discussed how we can automatically send dunning emails when an invoice is past due. You can actually see it was sent out by the NetSuite system via Janet Weiss here to ABC Incorporated, but when the customer responded, their response is actually captured back here within the NetSuite system. So it's really nice from a visibility approach. It sounds like this customer was late paying. They're apologizing for the late payment, and they said they're going to make payment this Wednesday in their next check run. So really nice visibility. Everything gets pulled back in a NetSuite, giving you that 360-degree view. If you do want to use NetSuite to generate tasks, and this is another operational side, operational tool within NetSuite. You can just create a task, assign it to a user. Looks like this customer had an issue with their implementation. We want to make them happy, so we're going to take them to a Warriors game, make sure that they don't have any other concerns. Okay. You can obviously attach files, so any contracts associated with their transactions will all be appended back here to the customer record, giving you visibility into their contracts. Under sales, if you were to utilize NetSuite for CRM, you would have visibility into all of their opportunities, the whole lead to cash cycle. Under transactions, this is where you're going to see their full transactional history, opportunities, bookings, payments, invoices, credit memos, revenue contracts, everything you would ever need to know from a historical transaction perspective right here at the Customer 360 record. Okay. You can get visibility into what items they've purchased, what they're entitled to, their contract end date. So really understanding, what is this customer, what are they entitled to from a product perspective, when is their contract expiring. That's all visible right here at the Customer 360. And then, a nice snapshot of their financials, so you'll get visibility into a mini AR aging associated with them. We have some nice automation if collectability is an issue for certain customers. You can have NetSuite apply a credit limit, and automatically place them on hold if they meet that credit limit until they've paid down that balance. So some really nice efficiency here at the Customer 360, gives you a lot of visibility, and really it's one touch point, right? As opposed to needing to log into 4 different systems to get all this information, you're logging into one, and it's a quick way to understand your customer right here at the Customer 360. Okay. So with that, I'd just like to I would just like to close and let you know we talked today about the financial excellence side of the business. We talked about operational efficiency, how NetSuite was built not only for your financials but also to help run your business and help you scale as an organization. With that, I'll leave it to Anand to take some Q&A here the last couple minutes.
Thanks, Matt, for that excellent demo. I think we are almost at the top of the hour. May have one, we can accommodate maybe a quick question, which typically comes up around a cloud-based system, and it's around the security, availability, and the performance of NetSuite. And, from the perspective of a customer, Jay, can you respond to this as to what has been your experience in terms of availability, performance of security around NetSuite? Jay?
Yes, the performance has been excellent, availability all the time, and haven't had any issues with security whatsoever.
And, from our perspective as a vendor, I just wanted to add that cloud is actually now mainstream. It's not a trend or a new technology. And from the perspective of NetSuite, we provide enterprise-class data management, security, and availability across from the perspective of the application itself, with a host of advanced functionality to secure the application, role-based accesses that both Jay and Matt touched upon, and with complete audit trail. And the encryption is, the best that you can think of, same level that is used by online banks, and robust password policies, and a lot more. Suffice it to say that there have been no issues around data protection, application security, and uptime. And as I mentioned earlier during our webinar, we, in fact, put up our uptime on our website itself. So there are a lot more great questions that are coming through, and several have been answered online. But since we are at the top of the hour, and I apologize that we couldn't get to all the questions, but I assure you that someone from NetSuite will get back to the questions. And with that, I want to thank everyone for their time today. Hope you all enjoyed the webinar. I want to thank Jay for his valuable insights and Matt for a compelling demo. Thanks, everyone, and have the great rest of the day. Thank you.